Bandwidth for First Updates Now is supported by the Blue Alliance. Are you ready for kickoff? Make TBA Game Day your go-to destination for live first events, including kickoff at thebluealliance.com/game day.
People are interested.
But you know what? If you send me an email, you'll get a response, and it will be from me.
And I really don't have any desire to.
You haven't watched the trailer at all?
No.
A lot of people haven't heard of the couch division, so
It's a comfy division to be in, though.
it's super comfy. It's almost too comfy at times.
Your response to teams who see that as a new potential issue with districts?
Yeah, that's really a two-pronged question.
Let's see if there's any damage from that fall. There was. They snapped. 330. Still on their back. 6 seconds to go.
4 was the highest ranked, and as votes continue to pour in, everything kind of changed around a little bit.
First Updates Now is brought to you by AnyMark. What projects and events will you be doing to get ready for kickoff? AnyMark has the components and supplies to get you going all year. Go to anymark.com and keep your team inspired. Tonight on Recap, it's our first annual FRC Top 25 Popularity Poll for charity, where we run down the most voted for teams in FRC for 2016. We'll also give a brief recap of some of the recent FRC updates and give our predictions for 2017. I'm Tyler Olds.
I'm Justin Montois.
And I'm Mike Starke. So let's start off by recapping some of the FRC updates as we prepare for the 2017 season. DLC Pack 3 has been released, and what might be getting even more attention on the drive team buttons and the suspicious number of 4 drive team members plus a coach shown in the picture. Justin, so you have an interesting theory on what the drive team could be comprised of. Do you mind kind of sharing your thoughts here?
It was kind of an interesting theory. It was almost like, hey, this is something I hope First would never, ever do, but I wouldn't put it past them. But I think that was a huge hint. I think that they're, I'm pretty convinced we're going to have 5 drive team members this year, 4 plus a coach, however you want to put it. I'm excited about that. I know for our team, we have a senior heavy drive team, so the opportunity to get someone else a little bit of drive team experience is something that we're kind of excited for. So another thing in the DLC, I don't know if you guys saw, but there's that 3-2-1 blast off sound bite ringtone thing.
Yeah, a little ringtone, yeah.
Yeah, which also kind of goes with the ready to take flight from the teaser. So it'll be interesting to see. I really can't wait for kickoff.
So you're saying all the MCs have to say 3-2-1 blast off this year?
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Thanks for, yeah.
Guys, come on.
That might just happening. So let me ask you here, though, with the buttons, you mentioned you're excited to have 4 drive team mentors plus a coach down there. I mean, I'm just thinking, like, how much space are they going to be using up for something like this? It's already, you go to some regionals and it's already beyond cramped trying to get as many people as you do in there. And I'll tell you, though, the one thing I at least believe that this confirms is that we're not going to have a 4v4 robot game. There's no way, if that's true, that we're going to have 5 drive team members down there. We're not going to have a 4v4 game.
No, certainly not. I actually think that the extra drive team member is going to not be behind the glass. I think there's going to be a side of field location for whatever this person or people end up doing.
And Justin, did you have like did you have a theory of what these people would be called, or is this what they're actually called? Is what you posted?
It's just a theory.
All right.
I hope it's just a theory. It was just a joke.
No, what was it? You had some acronym for it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was theme based. So it was like the 5 drive team members would be the scientist, the technologist, the artist, the technologist, and the mathematician, or something along those lines.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of
engineer.
sense.
Yeah, you missed engineer.
Yeah. Engineer, yeah.
Mathematician. And then you said the human player to the rookies would be for the artist.
The artist. Because like even in 2011, 2012, people would be like, "So who's your payload specialist for this match?" I'm like, "What?" Like, "Oh, sorry, we were rookies in 2009. That's what they call the human players." Like, "Oh yeah, they're the human players. Come on, people."
Something like that. The artist.
Not this year.
No. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about all the stuff that's been released for Steamworks so far. Kickoff is going to be a long and arduous wait. I know a lot of the kids on our team are really excited too.
It's coming up.
Yes, sir. All right, so another thing we can discuss is the championship district allocation. So how many spots each district across FRC is getting for their respective championships. So for the South champs in Houston, we have Israel getting 16, North Carolina getting 15, the Pacific Northwest jumping up to 39, and Peachtree getting 18. And going to the North champs, where our team will be in St. Louis, Chesapeake will get 23, First and Michigan will be 82, Indiana 10, Mar 22, New England 37, Ontario 29.
Wow.
So a couple of key areas.
82.
Chesapeake actually lost 2 championship slots, and the area they gained the most, like I kind of mentioned, was the Pacific Northwest with 9 slots, even getting more than First and Michigan. So do you guys have any thoughts on the district allocations? As maybe specifically as interesting to see kind of the North champs versus South champs breakdown.
Well, so when you look at it, I think
Tyler,
it's
wanna
what?
start?
Yeah, 6v4. Is that right?
Did we lose Tyler?
Oh,
Did you lose me?
check.
I still have both of you.
All right. Well, we'll go for that. So I think we have. I'm looking at
We're going.
6. Yeah, you must have lost you, Mike. We had 6 districts in North champs and 4 in South champs. I think the one thing to point out is how many teams from districts will be taking up each one of the championships. Because you look at North champs, it's what, almost 3 times as many district teams will be making up. I'm sure somebody can do the quick math over it, but 82 FIM teams are almost going to be taking up 2 divisions by themselves.
That's
So,
crazy. I didn't really think about
Yeah.
it that way.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I don't know if you mentioned that. My Skype was, I think, going a little wacky there, but you said the area that gained the most, was the Pacific Northwest with 9. My thoughts on that were, I don't know the team breakdown versus how many teams. I know there's a ton in Michigan versus how many are in the Pacific Northwest, but it's just that it's one state versus a mixture of states over there. I don't know how many states make up the Pacific Northwest, but I don't see anything wrong with that, I guess.
It's like 3 or 4, isn't it?
That's what was going to be my guess, but I don't know that for sure.
The one thing I'll kind of want to talk about here too, and somebody mentioned in chat from 2045 was Israel, because if you look at previously, Israel was essentially, they had 1 regional, right? So unless you went out of the country, out of the continent, you were only getting essentially 5 to 6 slots. Now they're getting 16 slots to go to champs. So what a great advantage for them on that. And other new ones, Ontario coming in. I think somebody did the math, and I think 29 might be like 1 or 2 more spots than what they had last year. So that's pretty comparable for it. But yeah, seeing a bit more. Does anybody know why Chesapeake lost spots? Did they lose teams, or was this kind of like an electoral college thing, or what?
I don't know.
I don't
answer that.
Justin, you got any thoughts on the allocation breakdown?
I think it's, I think like you mentioned, Michigan being really heavy into the North champs is going to really kind of give a specific flavor to it. But it's also worth mentioning that there are teams that are signed up to go to the North champs in St. Louis that I think are going to kind of tip the, maybe the competitive scales in that direction. I know that if you look at the pre-signed up teams for the Chairman's Award, Hall of Fame teams and prior qualifiers, 254 is also going to North champs as well. So you have.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you have 254. You have a lot of Michigan teams, a lot of Ontario teams, a lot of New England teams. It's gonna be crazy.
Wow, that's nuts,
crazy.
by the way. Yeah, they're going there. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I'm going back to what you said about how First in Michigan, almost has 2 divisions worth, going at. That's crazy. That's awesome, though. I love it.
The Hawaiian kids are also coming all the way from Hawaii to North champs as well.
Nice. Well, it doesn't really matter for them, right?
Yeah. True.
Wow. So yeah, I didn't really think about it. You look at then how many, because there are quite a bit more teams registered for North champs than South champs already, if I remember correctly. And if you're going to have those even more Hall of Fame and powerhouse teams coming to the North champs, I also wonder how some of those IFI sponsor teams are going to end up, because with South champs being the exact same week as what the VEX championships will be interesting to see how they end up getting that. I know, I think I talked to a couple of teams. I know I talked to a couple of teams. They said they were on a wait list, but who knows what that means moving forward.
So you said, South champs is the same week as VEX champs?
Yeah.
Wow, and 148's already signed up for South, so I wonder if they're trying to move.
I don't know. Can't confirm or deny that.
Interesting.
All right, let's move on.
Lots of drama.
Yeah. All right. So we got the FRC Top 25 coming up in just a little bit, guys, but we do want to talk about one more update. So we had motor controllers and the MXP boards for 2017 were announced last week, and we see a lot of the returning products, but there are some new ones that are coming out available to teams. So new for motor controllers are the Diligent DMC 60 and the Mind Sensors SD 540C, and that's from actually Team 540 Talon. Too bad that name is already taken in the motor controller realm. It probably would fit pretty perfectly for them. We also have a new approved product for Rev Robotics. It's called the Rev Servo Power Module, and a new board called the Husky board from FRC 36 Husky Robotics.
I'm sorry.
You don't like the Husky board?
No, this is go ahead. Can you finish? And I'll tell
All
you.
right. Well, I'll ask you guys, like, what are, anything really stand out to you? I'm going to probably defer to Justin since he's the most active with a team, especially in the engineering side. But Mike, if you want to go with your comment, then Justin, let us know what do you think about these.
I'm excited. I think, for a team that builds a competition robot and a practice bot, we buy double electronics. So just having more options out there, and hopefully, the nature of capitalism is more options out there. Hopefully the cost comes down a little bit. We've used Victor SPs the past few years. We really like those. We really want to kind of give the Rev Spark a chance. It seems like they have a lot of great features for $45. So it's kind of hard to beat, but that's kind of where we're at. But I always love to see the more options, lots of different choices for teams, and I think the results on the field will only get better.
So when we were kind of putting the show together, Tyler asked Justin to kind of take control of this because he's a technology teacher. I'm a nurse, and Tyler is not in the engineering field. So
I'm in the marketing field.
Yeah. So this means really nothing. We just know that there's different motors and they make the robot go. So thanks, Justin, for taking that.
Thanks for giving me all that credit. Appreciate that, Mike.
Well, it's true, and that's what's great about FRCT, right? It's like it attracts all these people that are not. Anyways, I was laughing because I wore my Rev Robotics shirt yesterday. Actually, I love it. Thanks to Greg, but I was laughing because I didn't pre-read this, and I just heard the Husky board. And back in the day when we were doing the FRC Top 25, Justin happened to use the word solid a lot. That's a really solid robot. They're really solid. And people kept getting on us about it, that we kept saying solid, this, solid, that. So we started saying like Husky and like hefty. so
a voluptuous board.
Yeah, that robot's pretty husky. So that's why it made me laugh, because it was like a blast from the past.
Nice.
Hashtag Husky Bot.
All right, so while we get ready for the first annual FRC Top 25 Popularity Poll for charity, let's take a break to thank our sponsor for today's show. That's AndyMark. And new AndyMark products are churning out for the 2017 season. And brand new, it's a 2-inch compliant wheel. If you need a wheel for moving, intaking, and manipulating objects with your robot, then you got to check this out. This material is made out of silicone and has a 1-inch hex board. Now, to me, I'm thinking about how much in 2015 that my team spent on those marshmallow wheels, and I'm very interested in seeing how these work out, especially at a fraction of the price that they're at. So give these a shot. I mean, for the price point they're at, hopefully they're what you're looking for a team, but they look like they could be a great opportunity for doing object manipulation. Probably not so much in the drivetrain. I mean, like I said, I'm just a marketer, so maybe Justin knows that works well for the drivetrain or not.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Just a lowly marketer.
Yes. Don't forget that AndyMark also has a great selection of churro tubes and many awesome different colors, including the new gold anodized finish that won't add thickness or flake off. So you got to get your gold bling on there. Make your robot soar this year with the performance and look that you want with AndyMark. So go to andymark.com, and we want to give a huge thank you once again to AndyMark for sponsoring First Updates Now and making this content possible for you to view today. Thanks, AndyMark.
Absolutely. Thank you to them.
All right, so what we want to talk about real quick is kind of, Tyler mentioned at the top of the show, this is kind of our first charity event. If you don't know, FRC 5871, the Chickadees from Boise, Idaho, they kind of lost, they lost a lot of they lost the robot from last year, the robot cart, and a lot of tools in a fire at their build facility. And, thankfully nobody was hurt. But financially, they're really kind of taking a hit trying to replace all that they had lost. So all the ad proceeds from the show tonight are going to go, we're going to donate to them. I'm going to put the link to their Facebook in the chat that you can go and donate yourself if you'd like to. But yeah, that's how we're kind of here and trying to support them and help them out.
Yeah, so I mean, we just have different sponsors set up and based on how many people are watching tonight versus all of our archives and all that stuff. So every view counts to give them a little bit of revenue, and we're happy to do this for them. You can, I know Justin said he's put it in their Facebook page, or you can go to, I don't know if Nick put that up already, to give.boisestate.edu and give to the fund ID NR039 under the College of Engineering Outreach Fund. So we can put that in the chat as well. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if you haven't seen a picture yet, we have it on our Facebook page you can check out. But I mean, literally, like they have a picture of their robot cart that's just in ashes. So the cart would have the robot on it is literally just a pile of heaping metal. And we promoted them a few weeks ago, and we kind of got this idea to say, hey, you know, there are teams that are in need, and you know, great companies like Andy Marcus stepped out to donate products, and that's we're doing our end. Hopefully that, you know, you guys by watching we make a donation, but also if you have an opportunity, please go give to them as well. And just give back to a team who really needs it. You know, I talked to man, I forget the gentleman's name because I've talked to him a few times, but from Team Tater, and said that team is really making a difference in the Boise, Idaho area, and they need the help to make sure they can keep on doing that. So with that, we wanted to have some fun for this holiday season and ask you, the FRC community, to vote for your favorite team, regardless of robot performance, how they look, just whatever you thought was your favorite team. Could have even been your own team. We don't really care, except for those people who voted their own team for all 25, and then we just give them number 25 vote because he broke the rules. Don't do that. But feel free to chat room, you know, feel free to post, let us know who you think is going to end up in the top 25 or the top 5. One thing I'll tell you to look for that's interesting is not even who makes the top 25, but within those top 25, who's the top from that state or province in the top 25. I think that will be an interesting competition, and a lot of them come down to the wire. Who's going to be like best in Michigan or Texas or California or Ontario, some of those other areas out there as well. So you guys ready to go? You ready to get started with this?
We're ready, man.
I think so.
This is kind of something, Justin, have we done this before? We've, I think, talked about doing it, but
Well, everybody calls the top 25 a
yeah,
popularity poll.
It's
So
a popularity poll.
This is
in that
truly
regard, we've been doing
popularity.
it for years.
That's true. This is truly popularity, though. No basis for it.
Except
All right.
except the voters that these. How many voters did we end up with, Tyler?
A little bit over 200. So
Wow,
awesome.
that's
yeah,
incredible.
that was phenomenal response. So thank you to everybody for doing that as well. All right, starting out in our 25th spot is going to be Hall of Fame team number 27, Team Rush.
So in 2016, they saw the field at one regional event, 3 district events, 4 including the Michigan State Championship, which they won. And then they played on Carver in St. Louis. They captained the number 3 Alliance, selected 11-14 first, but they couldn't get out of the quarterfinals with scores of 150 and 124. Team Rush continues to be one of those well-rounded teams, setting the example both on and off the field. So congrats to Team 27, Team Rush.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those teams that they go by and they have a pretty well-known coach, and it's just like Justin said, it's just they're robot-wise, they do awesome, and they're the Hall of Fame team here, so very well.
Yeah,
Championship.
yeah, Rush has been one of those robots too, where like they haven't had like a really top performer in a long time, but they're always around, and I think out of anything, they stand out because of how from their chairman's aspect reach, and you mentioned Kyle Hughes, the Woody Flowers award winner, just an overall fantastic team that they have. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Cool.
Definitely.
So moving on to 24th, we'll see Code Orange, Team 3476. Sorry, Tyler, I don't know if I took that from you.
No, just go, man.
The team from Irvine, California. We're all from the upper states. Doesn't California sound really nice right now? Seriously, though.
It does.
Anyways.
Well, it's 3 degrees and 10 inches of snow where I live, so yes, that sounds great.
Pretty much.
I have an igloo in my front yard legitimately, so
Nice.
So team Code Orange enters the 2017 season with back-to-back Einstein appearances. With a competition record last year of 32-16, 34-76 took wins at the Los Angeles Regional as well as the Newton Subdivision. Code Orange has made their way to becoming a well-known and powerful Californian team, which is a huge compliment considering their competition now on the West Coast. So congrats on making the top 25 charity poll, and good luck in Steamworks.
And one thing I'll say with Code Orange is from this year especially, I don't think many people pegged them for a chance on Einstein again, because they end up pairing with 217 at the championships in the Newton division that, you went up against 254 and 1241 and 67 and 5172. So that's, amazing that they were able to pair with 217 and just have a fantastic, well-run alliance, and with the Cybercabs as well. Did a great job.
Definitely.
All right. What are we on here? 23. We're almost done, right? All right.
Yeah. We're going to get out of here fast tonight.
Yes, right. In the 23rd spot, we're going to have team number 2481, the Robotiers.
One of Tower's favorite teams.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a team that you could argue is pretty low on this poll. They were incredible, 52-8 last year in Stronghold. The Robotiers won 2 regionals, Central Illinois and Smoky Mountains, as well as won the Carver division, as well as the #LastChamp title, world champions, riding a high of 4 blue banners. Robotiers look to keep riding the momentum from their 2016 season into 2017. So Tower, coming from a team who did something similar in 2015, can you talk about the pressure that comes off of kind of an incredible season, the pressure to keep up?
Yeah, so there's 2 ways I think you can look at it. I think you can put everything up on a pedestal like that, or you can just say, you know what, it's a new season. We're just going to keep on rolling with our team. And, I know 2481 really well. If you guys haven't watched the show too much, I talk about 2481 all the time because I think they're one of the most underrated teams in first. They've had absolutely phenomenal few years. And I don't remember where they were on Zondig's championship poll, but they were right up there in the top spots of teams' performances over the last few years. But yeah, 2041 is just a fantastic team, and they build just solid quality robots. They might fly under the radar a little bit, but man, they perform when it counts.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, in our 22nd spot, we are going to feature a team with one of the slickest logos out there, team number 1477, Texas Torque.
So with a 29-21 record in the 2016 season, the students from San Antonio did not make it out of the quarterfinals in their first regional, were finalists at Utah, and were quarterfinalists again at Lone Star. The 2013 champions of the world returned to the big stage in the Newton division and exited in the semifinals. They did take a chairman's award home at the Alamo regional, however. So congrats to Texas Torque and good luck this season.
I think it was kind of maybe a little bit of an off year for Texas Torque. I was glad to see them get the recognition because they are a great team. But as far as their standards go, maybe they might consider it a little bit of an off year. Kind of funny.
And I don't mean to rag on Texas Torque too much at all, but I will admit that to me was a very surprising pick by 67 and 51-72 on the Noon division, because Texas Torque was just plagued with issues and tip over issues and mechanical, if I remember, issues on the Noon division. But yeah, previous years they've been a fantastic team and very well known, and glad to see they're getting the recognition for it.
Yeah.
All right, and the 21st spot is the team that's no stranger to the top 25 poll. That's team number 624, Kryptonite.
So they debut here at 21 in our charity poll. After their 2016 season, they were finalists once, semifinalists twice. Well, obviously, the end result, the best way to get yourself in the top 25, 624 shows us that steady, consistent play, though not taking home any blue banners and that chintzy plaque, gets people to notice you. So congrats.
Oh, you like that?
It is a chintzy plaque. It sure is. Congrats on continuing to make Texas famous for robots, and good luck in 2017.
I love when we do that, where we write the script and the other person reads it. They have no idea what's coming.
So you just write it for the other person. You're like, you know what? They'll read it.
I try to pre-read it.
Yeah.
So off that or caught off guard.
You try to just play smooth a blue banner and chintzy plaque.
Chintzy plaque.
But yeah, we were just actually talking about this with Texas Torque. It's just that, they're still getting the recognition that even though they may not, they may still be consistent whether or not they take home the win. You can still have good robots and stuff, whether it's a bad break or a bad match or, there's a lot of things that go into that.
Yeah, it's also interesting to consider that like there was no real criteria for this poll, right? Who knows? Who knows why? I think a lot of it is based on expectations, and certainly 624 and 1477, and a lot of these teams that maybe didn't have such a great year last year, still have to carry that expectation that people look forward to seeing the robots.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll move on. So one of my personal furthest memories of doing the top 25 is talking about this next team in the 20th spot, which is 233, the pink team. Justin says it really great, but from Rockledge, Cocoa Beach, Florida, where I've personally actually been, it's beautiful there. I wish I could be there too right now. They're coming off a 45-19-0 season where they took home 3 blue banners at Orlando, Bayou, and Lone Star. They almost made it to Einstein, being finalists in the Carson division, where they were ranked 41st and were selected to the 3rd-ranked alliance. The pink team always manages to make their way in the top 25, and rightfully so. Definitely a team that emulates all aspects of FRC, and congratulations. I don't know why. Like, I feel like we always talk about Pink, and like as far as I can remember, we've always talked about them. So,
Yeah,
always.
and I talked to them at IRI, and I don't know if you guys remember, there was talk of this being 233's last season, this past season.
That's right. Yeah.
But I talked to their lead mentor at IRI, and it looks like they're going to be okay for at least this next year as well. So I was happy. I really thought that was going to be my last chance to get a Pink team shirt. So I was really getting desperate, and then I heard that, and I was like, okay, I have another shot.
You got one more shot at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably many more, I'm guessing. I'm sure that will be cleared up on Chief Delphi soon enough, because that seemed to get cleared up pretty quick after a little while with some rumors going on there. Yeah. All right, so we're down to number 20.
It was dire though. I mean, I PM'd their lead mentor, and he confirmed that they were done. And then
oh,
somehow,
really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they were done. And then they did some good hiring, I guess, and found some people to take it over. But of course, their home championship is in Houston, so maybe I'll never get a Pink shirt after all.
Aw.
Somebody's saying we skipped the team. I hope we didn't do that.
No, I think he's just saying you skipped the team in the when you were writing them up.
Oh, that's all right. I'll get over it. All right. In the 19th position, we have team number 125, the Neutrons from Boston, Massachusetts.
Come on,
sorry, 02134.
What's the reference?
I don't know. I think Scruff McGuff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. I don't know what 02134.
Boston, Mass.
02134. Zoom.
Yeah, send it to Zoom.
I got it.
Very good. So they've been a force in the New England District for the past few years and won the New England District Championship this past season. They won a District Chairman's Award, and they won a regional event going all the way to Arizona to pick up the regional win. So the Neutrons finished 18th in the final top 25 poll from last season, and are a good bet for a strong 2017 with FRC Steamworks. I was actually going to go back and do some research. I just kind of ran out of time. But a District Championship, a District Chairman's Award, and a regional win might be kind of a rare trifecta.
Sorry, I was busy looking up Caroline from Zoom.
I don't know what that was. That a show or something or what?
Yeah, it was on PBS.
It was on PBS.
It was like a yeah, dude.
Apparently, it's only for, I don't know, if anybody else from the Midwest has heard of it, let me know, because I sure as heck haven't heard of it.
That was awesome.
Mike, how would you describe Zoom? Was it like
Zoom was like a bunch. It was just a bunch of kids that got together, did like experiments and stories, and
just a kid show, I guess.
Yeah, it was definitely like a kid show, but it wasn't like I watched it as like, you know, like you're what, like 10, maybe 12, something like in there.
Maybe
up to that age, maybe.
Good show.
But it was like, yeah, it was a good show. Good luck with that Zoom.
That'll happen. All right, in the 18th spot, we have the longtime Michigan powerhouse in 217, the Thunder Chickens.
So this is actually a quote. This is going to be a new segment, we think, called Fun Fact. So they haven't won a district event. What did you say, Justin? Since 2011?
Yeah, 2011.
A district event. They did win the Michigan State Championship in 2013, but they have not won a district event since 2011. And this past season, they also won the Newton Division, and they competed at Einstein. So, I mean, they were a powerhouse. I remember back in 2007, they were 2006 with their shooter like up on the ramp. Man, they had some good robots back in the day. Kind of had a low period as of recently, but those teams, man, legends.
Well, they could be back, man. They run Einstein this year.
That's it. We'll see.
So I think that qualifies pretty well enough. And we talked about with Code Orange being, in my opinion, I'm sure some people looked at it like, it's like, wow, that does look like a good alliance, but going up against 254 and 1241, and then previously going up against 67 and 5172, to beat both of those alliances out, and actually in the I didn't even remember this, in the quarters they beat out 118, 1519, 1676. So what a gauntlet for them to go through on their division. I mean, that was absolutely incredible. And I remember I was sitting in the corner championships watching the Newton division and I think the Carver division, I think, were next to each other, and just eyes glued to that, and just how amazing that was. Yeah.
Abby, hubba lubba.
Okay.
All these references are going way over
your head.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
Hubba lubba. My name is Mama or whatever.
It's pretty good, actually.
Remember, this is for charity. Can we get back to the charity now, guys?
Guys, I'm sorry. Tyler, you've
we're
invited
just
us
trying
on your show. If you're going to do that, you have to know we take these things.
We're just trying to diversify our audience. It's
Yes.
for charity.
For charity, yes.
Yeah. For charity, that you can deal with our nonsense.
There we go. That's how we look at it. Anybody complains, it's for charity, guys. Have a
Yeah, it's
heart.
for charity. Come on,
Yeah.
have a heart.
Yeah, what's going to happen when the real season starts? You're just going to
Fire, yes.
I started. I'm sorry. I don't even know what number we're on right now.
17.
17.
Coming up on
yeah.
17, yeah.
Perfect. This is where I started trying to create a funny name for this charity poll each time. Looking forward to this section.
I gotcha. All right. So coming in 17th in the charity poll of popularity is 1986 Team Titanium. Their beautiful green robots impress every year, and this past season was no different. They picked up a regional win in the Greater Kansas City Regional, and at the championship event, rolled through the playoffs in Archimedes, reaching the Einstein Field. They've been a staple of the FRC Top 25 recently, and their autonomous programming might be some of the most comprehensive in all of FRC. So congrats to them. I remember a couple years ago we got to know, oh my gosh, a couple other guys really well, and they're a great team. I know they have two teams that meet in their building, I believe, right? Is it 1986 and another one?
Bronco Bots or something, maybe? I'm not sure.
I don't think it's 1987.
Do you know Malcolm from that team?
Yeah,
maybe?
Malcolm.
Yeah, Malcolm's a great guy.
He is a great
It
guy.
was their driver, and I forget what is Cameron, maybe.
Yeah,
But,
Cameron.
yeah, good team. So love it.
So the one thing I'll say about 1986 too is being from Midwest area, they have definitely been a team that is just completely soared. I mean, they've absolutely dominated the Kansas City area, but now they're starting to reach out and go to further regionals and just completely just dominate the competition. You know, I will say this year in particular, I was a little skeptical with their tape measure climber that they had going on, because that it's like somebody using a scissors lift. You never think it's going to work until it does. But they had all those different autonomous modes. They had an awesome release video, and their robot performed really well. So, and they're a team that's consistently just getting up to the top of the ranks each and every time.
Dude, 2013, man, they were like straight savages with their robot, and it was awesome. I remember their release video, and it was just like, all right, this is a standard, just with everything that they had, and it was great. So, cool. All right, let's see if we can do 2 in a row.
I'm just gonna. Did you just take my team? You did.
I'm going to go on this one then. Climbing to the 16th
bit
in this poll for a good cause is team number 195, the Cyber Knights. Justin, why don't you tell us about that team?
So another strong team in the New England District. They picked up 4 blue banners last season, 2 district wins, a district championship, and a trip to Einstein, winning the Galileo division. They've come to at least one New York regional, so we've had a chance to interact kind of with their team personally. Great team from top to bottom. A lot of great students, a lot of great mentors, and they've been an early and ardent supporter of our show. Just a great team in 195. So good luck to them in 2017.
What was their overall record last year? Wasn't it something like insane?
What? I'm sorry.
Was there
Their
what?
record last year. Wasn't it like, I'm pulling it up.
Their record?
Yeah, and 195 had
64-11-0.
Yeah.
They played. Blue Line says 64-11-0 in official play and 110-18-1 over. They've played Battle Cry, IRI, and Tech Valley. That's a lot of events for one robot. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Especially in this
5,
brutal of a game.
6, 7, 8, 9 events this year, including the Connecticut State Championship.
When I think 195 this year too, what always pops in my head first is they probably weren't the first team, but they were the team that really positioned my mind for having the 2-ball auto. And I think that was really their claim to fame, was just having a consistent 2-ball auto that they were able to just keep going, and that carried them through championships and brought them on the Einstein.
Yeah. And Mike, you're right with the robot construction going through that many events. I know after we got through Ruckus, which was our off-season event in October, our robot was like beat. Like we knew, like we were just trying to it was in like palliative care. Like we were just like, come on, just got to get through this. The end is almost here. Just try to keep it running. It was a brutal game for sure.
Yeah. Crazy. Okay. So moving on.
No, let's let Tower do this.
Yeah, let me have a part here.
I'm sorry, we didn't write this out like
what color. I would say, what color is your script, anyways? All right, staking their claim in our money-giving, kind-hearted, just for fun poll this week. Nice writing. Is the 15th spot in our first Canadian team of the night, the team number 610.
That's pretty impressive, right? Like the first Canadian team means that they've waited this long to get to them. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the big takeaway for us last season with 610 was their win at the incredibly competitive and historic Waterloo Regional. So after mastering the tower, field defenses, and tossing boulders, they still had to navigate through 2056, 1114, and 148. It was a great event, and we look forward to seeing what 610 can build on in 2017 from 2016. And it's one of those like little things that I can't remember if we asked them if they planned it or not, but shooting the boulder after they hung up high. I don't know if that was something they planned on or they just kind of discovered later. I can't remember.
So no, I'm pretty sure I remember because we had Sean on.
Yeah,
Sean
that's
Lynn
right.
on a show before, and I think he said that they didn't fully were confident in doing that until Saturday morning of the regional Waterloo, right? Yeah, the Waterloo regional that they were at, that they weren't really fully confident in it, and it wasn't something they were like hiding or keeping secret. They just didn't think it would work well. So it was that Saturday morning they figured that out, and that's that was a huge indicator with them and Theory 6 of taking down 2056 in their 23 consecutive regional streak.
Yeah, I was at that event and hanging out with 148, and I was able to see firsthand them on the practice field literally the entire weekend trying to get that dialed in. And Thursday was rough, even Friday was rough, and Saturday morning they started to put little bits together, and finally obviously paid off for them huge.
Mm-hmm. Man, I don't even think about at Waterloo that 148 was at Waterloo, because you think about you have the 610 and 1241 and 1114 2056 playing against each other.
Yeah.
And 610 and 1241 had to go through 148 and 3683 Team Dave.
Yeah.
Add Team Dave into that mix too. I mean, the team, they finally got that new age era win this year, but they're always good up there, man. I forgot how big of a deal that regional was.
Yeah, and
hopefully it'll still be that way with districts.
Hopefully, but I don't know. 148 won't be there. I know that.
Yeah, probably not. So
I also want to point out we have completely lost control of our color coding system here. That's the second purple one you've read.
Yeah, but blue isn't a color.
I'm purple.
And the chat has no clue what we're talking about. All right, voted 14th in the FRC top 25 popularity poll for charity is team number 179, the Children of the Swamp.
All right, we're about to get on track here, Justin. So Children of the Swamp playing an incredible 65 matches last season. They have one blue banner from the Palmetto Regional. On the Newton field, they played well, finishing 5th and captained the 4th Alliance. They fell in the semifinals to the number 1 Alliance, who would go on to eventually be the world finalists. Another great year from the team in Riviera Beach. Always love the look of their robots. Definitely have a distinct look. And good luck at South Florida and Rocket City, which I believe that they're signed up for this season so far, or this coming season.
So 179 to me, by the way, just to mention, after seeing the robot this year, I definitely think of their team more. But I have to admit, maybe it's just because I'm from the Midwest or something. But they don't actually. If you were to have me list a top 25, just real quick off the top of my head, I don't know if they'd actually would pop into my head for something like that. So they must be doing, obviously they're positioning in some people's heads that, or everybody from 179 voted for them. I highly doubt that's the case. And that's not the case for sure. But they're a team obviously that they've been around for a long time. They're consistently performing. Another blue banner for them this year as well.
Yeah.
And they just keep on rolling. I think where they got I think they lost to, I believe, the 254 1241 Alliance in the Newton division this year.
Yeah. Children of the Swamp and 233 are famous for showing off the robots in 80-degree weather, and it's terrible.
With all the outside videos, right?
Yeah, all outside videos, or their shop with the garage door open, and no.
They also do. I think a lot of what helps them, and a lot of other teams as well, is they typically release the first robot release video. Past few years, they've done a robot release video the day of kickoff or the day of ship day. They're usually very well shot, and they kind of get everyone's excitement about robot release videos. So I think that definitely helps them stick in a lot of people's minds as well.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point, Justin.
I know this year we really like our shop halted to watch the robot. We were like, oh crap.
Yeah,
okay,
that's cool.
maybe we're not going to be as good as we thought. Yeah.
Well, one of those teams made it to Einstein, so
there you go. Maybe it's a finalist in Einstein. Yeah. All right, 13th overall team in our telethon-esque, but not really a telethon, but it's still raising money for a poll, is team number 330, the Beach Bots.
Nice.
So the 2016 champions of the world, oh gosh, I almost died. Even slightly overshadowing their 2016 World Championship win was their performance in semifinal match 2, which seems to get all the talk, where they had to right the robot twice in the final seconds, turning their way to the Einstein finals and eventually World Championship. I think 10 years from now, people will still be talking about that as one of just the all-time greatest matches in FRC history. So another World Championship win for 330. They just keep turning the crank, turning out great robots.
They do, man. They just keep finding a way to win. I know we talked about it last time on Recap about the excitement of when that happened, and and all that. But you're right, Justin. I mean, people will be talking about that. This is one of those things everybody will remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they always build very unique robots each year too. If you look at I think about their 2015 robot where they had the multiple can grabber robot that was able to place different stacks and that sort of thing. And each year they build something cool. I always wonder, we should have asked when we had was it Shane from 330? I think we had on. The drive coach from that team. It was like their design of their robot. Like, did they obviously they built something to intentionally right themselves, but did they end up just making that sacrifice, saying, you know what, okay, we're going to tip over sometimes, but we're sacrificing that in lieu of being able to score more points or something like that?
Wow, yeah. Interesting. This is another team that you can just identify, right? They're just branded. They always have that 1x1 tubing on there that's usually yellow. It's just you can pick it out.
Yep, that 1x1 square tube welded is their style.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool.
All right, let's move on to our.
Here, boys.
We're on 12, right? Yeah, let's move on to our 12th ranked team here, and that's going to be team number 1241 Theory 6, and I'm going to guess they're out of Mississauga, Ontario.
That's right. Rick Hansen Secondary School.
Yeah, so I mean, we talked about this I think last show as well, but 1241, just some of their choices this past year really paid off for them. Just sacrificing going under the low bar and staying high, but using that kind of that fender shot and that that bank shot kind of right up there against the glass, and just pulling off that huge win in Ontario this year, and just the fight that's in this team. They're consistently always playing against 11, 14, 20, 56, and most of the time at the same time, and it's, I think it was just a huge victory, a huge win for this team. They have a huge team. I mean, they have two teams from that school, 1241 and 1285. And you can't mistake them when you go to these Canadian events, because you can just, you pick them out. And on top of all of that, they're also a regional Chairman's Award winning team as well, and just doing really great things for the community. So another Husky robot, another Husky team from up there in the north, and it's been great.
That robot is sexy, man. If their picture, if you go to Blue Alliance and look at their picture that they have up on there with just that powder coating they have, wow. The robot's absolutely fantastic too, but from an imagery standpoint, that is a sexy robot.
Yeah, so, and I distinctly remember we had the conversation on this show. We kind of agreed that at one point during the season they were the best team in the world. Their turret was just unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
They were in my opinion, they were, even overall at the end, I think they were still the best teleop team.
Yeah.
In the world. So.
Yeah.
I forget. They had a climber on their robot too, right?
No.
I couldn't remember.
No. Just did what they did well. They did. I don't even know what the doors were called. Did the Sally port well. Did them all.
Do you even FRC, dude? Come on.
No, I don't. Just show up and watch.
We haven't had the drop ridge Sally port or the portcullis for a really long time now, so
yeah,
I think that's acceptable.
We're
Hey Mike, what was the central scoring structure in 2007 called?
The rack.
Yeah, you just don't forget stat stuff.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, but who
5
cares?
points.
about the
5 points for
freaking
Mike.
Sally
Too bad he's
Port?
at negative 40.
5 points for Gryffindor.
At one point, you gave Stanley a gold star. Jim, 2 thumbs up. Andy.
Mike, can you just look in your notebook and see if there's a conversion chart in there somewhere?
And we're off. That was a good
All right.
one. boys.
Well, Nick already spoiled our number 11 team, so let's put that back up there. And that's going to be team number 67, the hot team.
Oh,
The
boy.
Hall of Fame hot team.
Hall of Fame hot team, yeah.
Who are, an absolute powerhouse, have been for years, 05, 04, 05 with that flop bot style especially. Michigan State champs in 09. Listen to this. 09, 11, 12, 14, 16. Michigan State champs. Finalists in 2010, 2013. They've only, this is a crazy stat as well. Another fun fact. Hot has not appeared in the finals of the Michigan State Championship only once since MSC has been started.
Crazy.
And arguably Michigan is is one of the most, if not the most competitive areas or regions in FRC. So it's just an incredible history of success.
Like you said, they had that huge success in 04 and 05. Kind of didn't, a little bit of a drop off, I think, in 2007 or so. And then I was like, kind of just looking up the stuff. I was like, all right, well, let's see what they've been doing. Like, you just forget, like, they've been here every year except one. They were champions in 9, 11, 12, 14, and 16, and finalists in 2010 and 13. Like, insane. Absolutely insane. And I know they've had to go through some trials and stuff. I think they, didn't they lose, the shop that they, at GM? I don't know the specifics, but they've lost Adam, right? Adam doesn't mentor for them anymore.
No, Adam went down to the Vex. He works for Hexbug.
So
XXX.
XXX. So crazy. Very cool. Good for them. That is nuts. When I was looking that up, it's just crazy. Insane.
So before we get into the top 10, guys, I just kind of want to take a moment again, and for those who have joined us, just a reminder that this is the FRC Top 25 charity poll that we have going on. So it's a popularity poll that we're donating proceeds to charity. And don't forget that if you're interested in helping support Team 5871, the Chickadees, who lost their pretty much everything they had in a fire, please go on and check them out on Facebook, or you can go to give.boisestate.edu and select fund NR039 under the College of Engineering Outreach to support them directly as well. They need your help to rebuild. If you go on our Facebook page, there's a picture of the unfortunate events that they had, and you might have to scroll down a little bit, but it shows just everything gone from the robot their shop, and we really want to have an opportunity to get back to them, and hopefully raise awareness so some of you Fun Nation will get back to them as well. So thank you for being part of this, and we going on down to our top 10. What else you guys got to add before we keep going?
No, I think this is just go ahead, Justin.
I just want to echo again what Tyler said. If you can just take a second to just think about what it would be for your team to lose your robot tools, all that stuff. So it's just a simple thing you can do, even if you personally can't contribute financially. Post in your team's Facebook, post in your team's Twitter. That's actually how I heard about it originally. I was going through my Twitter feed and saw it, and I donated through that. So just make sure that you get it out there. You never know who's going to see it and who might donate and really help these guys out, because they're going through a really tough time.
Yeah, Nogia kind of mentioned earlier in the show, and if you came in late and you missed it, just each view counts as a donation as well. So even just sharing the show and the link to our YouTube afterwards, or downloading the podcast or anything like that, all that even counts, and we'll get some sort of money to them as well. So
yeah, and we're counting all our reviews through the end of the year. So even if it's on YouTube afterwards, we're still counting that as well. And all those through the end of the year will be given as a donation after the first of the year. So yeah, if you can even share this show as well too, we would definitely appreciate it as part of fun. But honestly, to just help that team out would be fantastic. We'd appreciate that.
For sure. Oh, excuse me. All right.
You sound so enthusiastic there, Mike.
Yeah, so it is. The life of a nurse, you're just always tired.
Yes. All right, going down to our top 10. We are on our 10th ranked team. That's going to be team number 16, the Bomb Squad from Mountain Home, Arkansas.
There you go.
7672653. That means something, right?
That's funny. That is funny.
I don't get it.
That's your zip code.
He was just making he was making a Zoom joke.
Oh gosh.
Making a joke about something I don't know anything about. All right. Anybody got anything cool to say about team number 16, the Black
These
Widow
top 10,
robot?
we kind of collectively decided just to kind of just talk about whatever we thought of. No really script, but I mean, because we talked about these teams now, literally for years now, and it's no secret that the Bomb Squad. I'm actually wearing this shirt. It was unplanned. The Bomb Squad is no secret that it's one of our favorite teams. We love the people on that team. The Novaks are absolutely incredible and close friends, and we, it's just every year their robot comes out and our jaws always drop, and it's their swerve drive is unmatched, and it's very cool. Anybody else want to say?
I mean, winning 2 regionals as usual is kind of status quo for 16, only losing 8 matches in official play, 35-8 last year. It's just a great year for Team 16.
Yeah, and I know Nick's showing the reveal video right now that they had. I mean, when this got released, and we were fortunate enough to have them do it on our premiere night, and this was definitely one of our really big ones we wanted to show, but just the way that robot was able to translate and go over the bumps. And if you remember that drivetrain that they had on their underbelly with all those extra, so they have a swerve drive, right? And then they have like the smallest little West Coast drive you'll ever see underneath that. And that just allowed them to just glide over these obstacles. I mean, they are, I would say, especially with 1717 gone, that they are the kings of swerve, and they make phenomenal robots.
Kings of swerve. And not only that, I mean, off the field, I mean, they're a Hall of Fame team, and they're doing like incredible work to get funding. I mean, the status of first in Arkansas has skyrocketed in the past couple of years because of Team 16 and the Novaks meeting with Walmart executives and all this stuff to get more teams in place. So very cool. Good job. Good job.
Good job.
Great job.
I knew that was coming.
Home astray.
Oh gosh.
All right, let's move on.
Runner.
Single digits.
Single digits, yeah. Our number 9th ranked team is going to be team number 33, the Killer Bees from Auburn Hills, Michigan.
Notre Dame Preparatory School. Come on, it's right there. Just keep going.
I do miss your intro.
Their intro is AKA Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, the FCA Foundation, Innovation First International, TA Automotive, JDM Consulting, Elite Fence Products, Husband Spring, Lockbridge BAA Systems, Arkansas and Notre Dame Preparatory Academy, rookie year 1996. It's number 33, the Killer Bees.
Mike, do you remember early on having to talk so in their intro, are we going to include sponsors or not?
Oh,
Do you remember that discussion?
Yeah,
it was like 2011. Classic. So 52-15-0 in official play for the Killer Bees, picking up a chairman's award or district event chairman's award, district event, or in 2 district event wins. With the Michigan State Championship, disappointing 8th finals exit. I remember watching that. The first one wasn't too close, but I cannot say that. 8ths 1 and 8ths 2.
Octo finals.
Yeah, thank you. The last 2 octo finals matches were incredibly close. And then they went all the way to we had to play them actually in the Tesla finals this year. So just a great team. And they were, one thing that really kind of struck me, after we had beaten them in the Tesla finals, my phone like instantly went off, and there was the Team 33 Twitter tweeting at Team 3015, and all the other teams in our alliance. Good luck on Einstein. So that was a really kind of a classy thing as well. That really meant a lot to me.
That's cool, man. Yeah, and if you talk about with 33, obviously the powerhouse team they are, and hopefully everybody is very familiar with Mr. Jim Zondag. But just the absolutely phenomenal. I call him the father of districts, but that he's a huge part of that team. He is a huge part of that team. He's a huge part of FIM, and he is, in my opinion, one of the greatest people I've ever met, not just in FIRST. And his contributions to FIRST are just unfounded, and the amount that he gives back with his time. And between that and starting like the RoboZone show, for example, up in FIRST in Michigan, they have a show that's actually on their Fox Sports network in Michigan. How cool is that? Dude, you can go to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch FIRST Robotics competing. Yeah.
FIM. And it's done well, right? It's like it's a legit, feels like a sports event, So it's amazing.
Yeah. If only we could get to that level at some point. Maybe we'll just have to steal some of their stuff.
guys, but video isn't a priority.
Legally, yes. Yeah, video is not a priority right now. Justin, you want to take the next one? I'll let you do your fantastic intros.
There you go.
See, now you made him feel bad.
I did.
You did.
You did. See, no, I think you're doing.
I just
great.
wanted to do something.
You can just. You can get me a soda. That's what.
Wow, that's
Right.
what's
It's from Seinfeld.
But what's
That's-
Nick gonna do then?
Oh. All right.
All right.
Go ahead.
Next up, team number 987 from Las Vegas, Nevada, Cimarron Memorial High School. It's the High Rollers.
There it is. The High Rollers, man. Another one of our favorite teams. Tyler, didn't you said you went out that way and you visited them?
Last year I did. I was out in Las Vegas.
Talked about it a little bit on the show, but their program is, I think, like the bar.
It's solid, right?
It's solid for sure.
Husky.
Hashtag solid.
That bar is solid, man. It's just their program is incredible, from their like amazing autonomous to their program, to their facilities, to their robots, to everything out there and everything in between. Another one of those just like well-rounded, everybody wants to be like team. So we've gotten close over the years with oh my gosh. Yes, thank you, Trent. That's all I needed. From one of the mentors on their team, and it's just been great. So long-time supporters of the show as well.
Pop quiz: how many banners did 97 win last year? Answer: 6.
6.
Oh, and I caught it.
Los Angeles winner, Las Vegas Chairman's, Las Vegas winner, Arizona West winner, Galileo winner, 2016 Championship Chairman's Award. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Just one other thing, I got to give a big shout out to Jenny and Eric from 97 as well, who are two teachers on that team. Actually, Eric now I think works for the district doing something else, but they were the ones who actually invited me in and gave me an awesome tour. And I forget the other gentleman's name, but just overall, I got to go out to their house actually this year. And man, they made me really, really, really want to move to Las Vegas. Just how cool of people they are. What a cool team. Tell me about all the awesome initiatives they have going on. And Jenny and Eric, if you're listening, if you just let me stay at your house for 6 months of the year during winter, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, right. That'd be great.
Great people, love them.
Cool. Moving on.
What do you got for us, Mike?
Oh man, I was
Let's rotate this.
Question.
Eat your own lunch now.
What?
Huh?
What team is it?
What?
In 8th place from Mountain View, California, it's Team 971 Spartan Robotics.
That's 7th place.
Come on, dude.
What did I say?
Come on.
Counting's hard.
Did I say 8th?
You said 8th.
It's because I had 8th highlighted. In 7th. This is why Justin does it.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Spartan Robotics from Mountain View, California, and Mountain View High School.
94040.
Dude, can you believe 971 only had one blue banner this year?
No, I can't.
What?
7 losses total.
Wow.
Even more. Okay. This is going to put me off on a little tangent, and I apologize off the bat. We've talked about this before. But Silicon Valley Regional, 971 awards, regional finalist. That's it. How do you not give that team robot award, engineering excellence, industrial design,
even the damn creativity award?
Take your pick. How does that happen? I'm blown away. Absolutely blown away by that.
Yeah, so regional winners of Sacramento, as you mentioned, finalists at Silicon Valley, and they are the team that, in my opinion, man, for them to be in the same division with 148 and 1678. I've said this before, that they could easily be an Einstein team had they had a little bit different circumstances. It's just the way it worked out. I remember talking to the 148 and just telling me what a hard decision it was to choose between those two teams. What a nice position to be in, by the way, when you get to choose from those two teams. Must be nice. But still going to the finals, playing against them with their alliance partners, 1323 and 193, putting up good matches. They just couldn't get the captures in the finals. They just had issues with that. But the robot definitely excelled a lot. They ended up winning Chessie Champs with Citrus Circuits, so a little bit of redemption from there as well. But they're just I love that robot. I mean, just the Transformer look to it. So I know how Justin, you said, like, we watched, I think it was 16's video, or no, it wasn't, was it 179's video? You're like, oh man, we're done. This was me for 971. Like, just seeing that thing, the transform out and pop up. And I was like, well, that's the game. Good game, everybody.
Yeah. I mean, and just just the quickness of their alignment as well, right? The thing would flip out, look up, turn, shoot, done, gone. Just like incredible. It's just so fast at tracking. So, yeah, it's great. All right, moving on. Who's next?
Moving on down. I'll take this one in the number 6 spot. We have team number 1678 from Vivid Hosting and Davis Senior High School. It's Citrus Circuits from Davis, California. 59-4-2 in official play with 5 blue banners for the 2016 season.
Incredible. I mean, when you think of the Citrus Circuits, a lot as of recently, especially what they're promoting and stuff, you think a lot about Mike Corsetto and what Mike is doing for the kids of this team, and it's just been great. And they're just like one of the teams you talk about from California and out that way. And let's see, Central Valley winners, Sacramento winners. Mike won that Woody Flowers at Sacramento. Silicon Valley winners, Hopper Division winners. Just incredible. These teams are just, these robots are just amazing that they've been producing. So,
well, and from 1678s and 148s Alliance and Einstein, when they lost to the world champs, I mean, that was that time where 330 like just end up righting themselves for the 5th time in the match and end up squeaking out a very shallow win by 5 points in semis match 2 for them. And that whether that close to that not happening, then beat on Einstein, who knows what would happen. Or finals on Einstein, I should say.
Yeah, losing by 5 points. Is that what you said? Yeah, crazy.
So I think the one thing too with Citrus Circuits is they didn't really premiere this much, but didn't they have an extra mechanism that they could actually reach higher than the blockers? I think I remember seeing that in one of their regional plays. Yeah, I think it was part of their climber that they had on there. So, just another amazing machine. And we saw a few other robots look like Citrus Circuits or kind of have a similar design to that. But obviously, they were the best of that design and had a phenomenal robot.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
It's all right. One and done on the top 5, guys.
What's that? Top 5.
Yeah.
Moving on. Our number 5th ranked team from Greenville, Texas. In Greenville High School, it is Team 148, the Robo Wranglers.
Wow, I'm all backwards now because I usually say that part.
Sorry.
59-11 in official play in 2016. 4 banners on the year, 2 regional wins, Hopper Division, trip to Einstein, and like we just talked about, kind of one tipped over robot writing itself away from playing for a world championship and potentially winning one themselves, but in contention to win every event they go to. My friend Colin, who mentored them for 2 years, I went to Dallas in 2015 and Waterloo in 2016. So just an opportunity to see how a high level team operates. It's really not a surprise to me that they're consistently among the best in the world. Just the things that they're doing, it's the small details that they've mastered that makes them a true competitor each and every year.
I've mentioned it. I think we've talked about this team before. It's just one of my favorite things about this team, or this specifically Renegade, was just the intake to shot was just really quick. So whether boulders were coming over different defenses into that zone, just they would shoot, put their intake down, get another one in, shoot. Just the quick cycles, I think, is just what made them so successful, as well as the impressive, unconventional way of hanging as well. I think that just watching them go up and just do that bicep curl kind of thing was just really cool. So,
did any of you guys have an opportunity to see like their new field that they unveiled, like the gymnasium they had? Oh my goodness. And I don't know if Nick can put it on the spot, and that's pretty quick for them to bring up, but they had this new amazing facade in the right in their gym that says just home of the Robo Wrangler. And it's huge. It's got to be like a 10 by 10 foot thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I went down to Texas to move my friend Colin back to New York, So he had some stuff to pick up at the school. So I was there and was able to walk through the whole facility, and it's just an unbelievable place. And it really sets the kind of the new gold standard for robotics in a public high school. It's just really an incredible thing.
And I remember seeing just a recent picture they posted too, that they had, their field, and then they had a bunch of, they essentially had a VEX IQ event running, and they had all the VEX IQ tables on their playing field. And just, obviously it's great that they're expanding just outside, they're a Team IFI team, so I probably expect them to have some VEX things as well. But it's great to see them expand outside of just being a great first team, that they're building and expanding and helping other teams and bringing them in. And just building the STEM community in general. 148 is the gold standard for that.
Yeah. Very cool. And just making high school students excited about robotics. That's like kind of this ultimate goal here. And
right.
They for sure do it out that way, for sure. So
I mean, you look in our gym at our high school, and each team that's ever been a part of, that's ever been a team at Spencerport High School, there's a banner up for the 1976 boys varsity golf team, right?
Yeah,
they have a banner in the gym, and so you kind of feel like, this is a gymnasium, this is for sports, this is what's important here. And then you look at Texas, and they have a beautiful football. High school football is huge in Texas. They have a beautiful football stadium, and now they also have an incredible robotics stadium. So it's just really really an awesome thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll take number 4, Justin.
Numero cuatro for our Spanish-speaking friends.
Yes.
Team number 118 from League City, Texas, Clear Creek Independent School District. It's the Robotics.
So we talked about, this is like deja vu. We talked about all these teams, I feel like, last show. But we talked about all the mechanisms that they had on the robot in the release video, mixed with the what was it called? Not spear gun, but
spear gun. Grappling hook.
Grappling hook. Thank you, man. See, yeah. Okay.
If you put a spear on the end of it, I think it would qualify for it.
Probably, it probably would. They're just the incredible craftsmanship of their videos, their robots, everything. It's just they're robots. Another team that you just can pick it out of a lineup. That white and gold and powder coat and just beautiful robots.
Yeah, when I saw that grappling hook come out, what I thought about was 2012 with their robot, when they had that mechanism that hung on the side of the bridge. And that was my first thought, like, they're going to do that same damn thing where it looks really cool and then it's going to be illegal for some reason. and it wasn't. And it was, they had some hiccups at championships, but they came back, ended up winning IRI with 2056. And overall, 118 just produces great robots, and they had, great catapult mechanism that, they came out and, like I said, little hiccups in championships, but they kept on trucking. They kept on going strong.
Yeah. 3 regional wins last year. And whatever song they pick gets stuck in your head for the next 2 weeks,
2 weeks. I still have their 2013 theme song, that the Macklemore song that I heard there before I heard on the radio.
Yeah.
And then when it came on the radio, 6 months later, I'm like, oh my God, that's all I hear nowadays, because that song was just the most popular song during that time. I just could not get away from it.
No, for sure.
The little side note, I don't know if either one of you two saw, Fun ended up doing a post about a robotics competition from 1985 that actually I should give credit to Spectrum, because they originally posted about it, that it was a competition with ping pong balls. We'll show it some other time. But they had the song Pinball Wizard going on. And I'm like, oh man, who's better, 118 or the kid piloting the Deathmobile? Playing the Ping Pong Wizard. Yeah. So if you guys have a chance, you got to check it out, or you can check it. We have it posted on Fun's Facebook page as well. But yeah, it's just side note, little anecdote, just reminded me of that sort of thing.
Cool. Moving on.
All right, top 3. So I think a lot of teams have predicted this. I think it kind of depends what order it comes in. And usually, unfortunately, this team, usually we talk about in the number 2 spot a lot. They tend to pop up in our final polls. I guess they're going to be in the number 2 team of their province this year. That's going to be
see, you're really reaching to just, I know, seriously. Yeah.
It's going to be team number 2056, OP Robotics from HWD SB and Orchard Park Secondary School, Stony Creek, Ontario, Canada.
You got it, buddy.
Is there a robot named X, by the way? That's what it says on Blue Alliance. Is that right?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't know. Where do you even see that? Oh, I see it there.
Alliance side. So four blue banners this year. Winners Tesla division. Justin, you can probably talk a lot about them. You were on their alliance on Einstein.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I think that, and I talked about this on our post show a lot, but I think that in the past, especially because 2056 has been talked about on our show for so much, and they have such a long streak of regionals, that people have started saying that the regional wins, they don't mean as much. And I don't think that's true necessarily, but B, I truly saw the emotion and their desire to win at the championship level, especially. Their students were rightfully, like ours, devastated losing. So I think they're a team that, they love winning regionals. Certainly, they want to win a world championship. They feel like, they've won IRI 4 or 5 times now. They've won a gazillion regionals. They're a Chairman's Award team. They're going to be a Hall of Fame team. They want to win that championship so badly.
Well, you guys tied championship, didn't you?
Ouch.
I just want to see that death look in your eyes, Justin.
So, and that's what really upset me the most, when we lost. We were a very average team. Obviously, we were, we held our own a little bit, but we got carried to the finals by 2056 and 1690. They were unbelievably good. So I just, as bad as I felt for our kids, winning a world championship wasn't really something that, was a realistic goal at the beginning of January for us. And to see them come so close and not win was devastating. I felt worse for them than I did for us. So I will continue to be 2056's biggest fan until they finally are able to get over that hump and win the world championship.
I mean, on a completely side note, on a side note, I'm really glad. I feel like, at least, I don't know, maybe just because we've surrounded ourselves with not different people, but I feel like a few years ago there was a lot of big strife against these upper echelon teams. Just like, oh, they're mentor built, they're not realistic, the students don't do anything, they're way too good, we don't like them. I feel like that kind of realm has kind of shifted a little bit. I think it's been great. I just feel like there's that I don't know if it's just because maybe there's more really good teams. Maybe back then there was just, 11, 14, 254, 2056, kind of it, sort of thing, 67, stuff like that. But I just feel like the culture is a little bit different to embrace these teams that are just so good year in and year out.
Yeah, and with one of the things, just to kind of mention that whole kind of against the mentor built teams, quote unquote. I mean, I remember, going back a few years, I know 11-14 had some issues going to events outside of Canada. But I think back all the way to when I was a student, and to us, the biggest mentor built team in the world was Team 71, Team Hannah. If you look back in the early 2000s, the robots, and it was always the talk. And I think I hope that the culture in FRCT has started to evolve a little bit. And I don't know, maybe we're isolated from that, so we don't see it as much anymore. And I hope it doesn't happen as much. But I really start to think that that's starting to change a little bit. And we're starting to see that, we take these teams off this pedestal and realize they're a team. Every team's going to have a different amount of contributions from the mentors that they had. And I think some teams, view it like if it's not 100% student built, then it's mentor built or something like that. And it really comes down to what you view as what you want your team to be successful for something like that. And I don't think there are really any teams that are 100% mentor built. I don't know if there's necessarily a rule against that in FRCT, though, is there? Like, I don't know if there's actually a written rule saying like students must do X percent of the work.
Oh, yeah,
no, absolutely not. That does not exist. I think it's, I don't know. We can talk about that a different time.
Yeah.
The mentor argument really upsets me.
Yeah. I hear it. But yeah, 2056 overall, if you guys have not met Tyler from 2056, is very stoic but very phenomenal person. Is very, very humble gentleman. He knows, they know the capabilities of their team, but he's a fantastic individual. I had a chance, actually, he came down to Wisconsin for some business. We had a chance to catch up, and I got to pick his brain a little bit more. And you just get to realize what amazing people these are. And it's not because their team is mentor built. It's because their team is just built well, and it just has the right structure in it. It just has the right components that come together. and mentors have a key aspect in something like that. And Tyler's definitely one of those people on 2056 that brings that team together that makes them successful.
Yeah, and Stan as well, just the teacher in Orchard Park Secondary School. Absolutely, incredible. Woody Flowers Award winner and all that, so cool. Well, that was a nice little side conversation. I always like talking about little stuff like that. So moving over probably to like their sister teams that they, obviously do a lot with is Team 1114.
I think what Mike meant to say is all the drama's in the 2 spot.
That's it. All the drama's in the 2 spot.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It's amateur. Sorry.
There you go. You can say it without even looking there, Justin.
I can. But
Do it.
I want Tower to do this one.
Okay. Team 1114. Oh man, I got to think about this off the top of my head. No, I got this. I got it. General Motors, St. Catharines Powertrain, and Governor Simcoe Secondary High School. It's Symbotics from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada.
That's right. 34-16-0 in official play in 2016, and this is going to be kind of a shocker. 0 blue banners in 2016.
Oh.
Wow. Well, yeah, has that happened before? I don't know.
Oh, I no, absolutely not.
No, it hasn't. I think 1114 has won a blue banner every year.
Every year, yeah.
So they had an early exit in the quarterfinals at championships, paired up with the Rocketeers, Team 20, and 27 Team Rush. They just had some issues at champs. They were 6-6 overall at champs, including their losses in playoffs, ranked 27th, and in the Carver division, which featured your world champions. And it just took them a lot of traction. They were picked. I think Rush was the 3rd seed Alliance captain, and they got picked then, but they just had some issues getting going. They definitely saw some improvement going into IRI, where they faced off in the finals. They were with 195 and 225 facing off against 118, 2056, and 33. And the one thing, we talk about, because this is the FRC Top 25, usually we focus on the robots, but because this is a popularity poll, in this standpoint in particular, I mean, you think about how much more they are. I mean, they are, Karthik is one of our hosts now, and he talked a lot about like 2012 when they won the Chairman's Award, and just what an emotional ride that was, and everything they did to put into getting where they are, and everything they're still doing now. I think that's the one thing that in my mind is like, oh, we won Chairman's Championships, we don't have to do anything anymore. And they're still continuing on building more teams, on getting more kids interested in STEM, and not just building a fantastic robot. They have a fantastic team, and they build other fantastic teams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like how many? Yeah. How many different? And in all levels as well. Like how many Lego League teams have their hand in, and just awesome.
Yeah. So before we get to the number one spot too. One thing I want to mention is that we will be talking, giving a couple predictions just for 2017. Then we'll wrap up the show. If you guys have anything you want us to talk about, we'll take that in post show as well. So if you're watching live, feel free just to post in there. If you can tag me, that'd be fantastic. Fun Tyler in Twitch, and we'll take some of your questions on air offline. But with that said, do you guys want to go into the number one spot?
Let's do it.
Wow. This gets me ready for the actual FRC Top 25. I can't wait.
All right. You can say the last one there, Justin.
17-17. Oh.
This one actually throws me for a loop.
There were, sorry, real quick side. There were people who actually voted for 17-17. I was really hoping that there would be enough votes because I would have definitely put them in.
Really?
Yeah, why not? All right, go ahead.
I actually still remember 17-17's intro.
But
anyway,
go ahead. Go for it. Do it.
Oh boy. From Goleta, California, Dos Pueblos. Is it? I can't remember. If it's Dos
in
Pueblos,
English, please.
Dos Pueblos High School or Dos Pueblos Senior High School. The Penguineers.
The Penguineers.
I remember having to phonetically spell Go-Leta.
That's right.
So I knew how to say the Goleta, California name right.
Yeah.
But not Goleta, California, San Jose, California, Bellarmine College Prep. It's the Cheesy Poofs. Two regional wins in 2016, a 43-5-0 record. It's continued to be, based on this poll and many other discussions, kind of the gold standard at first. They are the team.
That's it. They are the team, right? Because if you don't know where they are in the pits, just walk down the center aisle, look to either side, and when you find the aisle that you cannot walk down, that's where 254 is.
Oh, I thought that's where the angel halo was coming down on, or something like that.
That too, because of their lights at
The heavens, yeah.
like because they have the LED lighting there. But obviously, there's just an inspiration for so many people. Their pit, and straight, just the amount of people that are at their pit all the time, like just curious, but they do it well. They have all the materials there. They have all their backup or all their not prototype, but all their pieces and gearboxes and mechanisms out to play with. And it's just it's awesome to see that every year, just how they're inspiring so many people.
Yeah, and with 254, it's amazing to see, because like this year, we've talked a lot about the new division at championships, and then pairing up with 1241 and ending up losing to the 217 alliance. And I don't know if anybody else would have predicted that. I sure as hell wouldn't have on paper. I had that that division to me was like my lock-in. Like they're going to Einstein, and we're going to see them in the finals or something like that. But every single year they're building fantastic robots, and they're always raising the bar. And I think back to like 2015, where they really raised the bar with having the tote chute for that, and that was very inspirational. You go back to 2014 when they had that amazing autonomous mode that they had. What did they actually call Chessie Vision? I forget what it was actually called.
Yeah,
that's what it was called.
And I think even going further back, if you guys remember what year was it? It might have been 2012, where they had the fake autonomous, because you could use the Kinect that year.
Oh yeah.
They would have. Do you guys remember that? They would have They'd have the player dressed up in a different outfit for every single match. And I remember because back then I was one of the rotational MCs at Champs, and I remember going to that field for a little bit, and I think I saw them play 2 or 3 times. And it was like one time he was a wizard, and one time
he was a conductor, I think.
Yeah, and I know Nick's showing it on screen right now, but just like all the different just ridiculous outfits that they had, it's just so funny just to see. So like this one, he's got like, I think he's an air traffic controller.
The air traffic controller one's my favorite.
Oh yeah, he's shooting the ball. Yeah, that's so funny.
But so and good. just a great team, but a good humor team, obviously too. They take who cares if they take the smart ass approach or not? You gotta love it.
I love the smart ass approach. My alley. But one thing I also want to mention before we move on from 284 is I don't have a whole lot of time at championship to mill around, being with the team. So it's one thing I always make sure I have time to do is go to 254's pit and just play with the mechanisms that they always have available for people to touch and look at their technical binder. Yeah. That's just one of my favorite experiences of FRC. So when I saw that they're at least on the preliminary list to go to North Champs, I was pretty excited because that was one of the things I thought I was going to miss out on.
I actually haven't spent too much time in their pits previously, but like what are some of the things they've had down there?
They've had different gearboxes and just I'd love to bring new students who worked on our robot all year to their pit, and I take the gearbox and I kind of hand it to them, and just the face that they make because they can't believe how light it is, and I'm like, that's the difference right there.
And they're like their extra mechanisms just hanging up, they just grab it off and just hand it to you, very cool.
Yep. All right, so before we move on, since this is a super fun for charity ultra awesome poll, I want everyone to name a team personally, doesn't matter what your reason is, a team that was left off the list that you would have added to the list. So I'll start with Mike.
So I'm going to take 359, the Hawaiian kids. We did not, I don't know how many votes they got, but took home 2 regional wins last year. Took it at Lake Superior and Tech Valley. Did not win their home regional for the, I don't know, when last time they didn't win. But 2 regional wins last year. The team to emulate, man. They get so much sponsorship money from Oakley and all this different kind of things. Just to support their team and Vex teams and all sorts of things. And they're just a team, another, we've been saying it all night, another well-rounded team out there, and did not make this charity poll.
Do you know what they were ranked, Mike?
I don't. Was it 26?
Yeah, 26. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I think they missed out by 2 points or something like that.
Bummer. Yeah.
All right, Tyler, what about you, buddy?
Oh man, I'm looking at this here. I gotta make my choice. I'm gonna go with
Pick
51.
number 27.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go with 5172, the Gators.
Oh yeah.
I understand. They're a team that really peaked this year, and I think that's probably why they got left off the poll, and they end up in 45th out of it. But man, what a breakout team this year! A couple regional victories, if I remember correctly. The robot was absolutely phenomenal.
Finalist.
Yeah, one in finalists. Yeah. But the robot was. I mean, they were they were the 1241 with the climber. And to me, that was just a absolutely phenomenal team. And, it could just be biased because I'm in that upper Midwest area and I want to see those teams excel that way. But, yeah, I'll go with 5172. How about you, Justin?
So I'm going to go with a team that I personally love for a lot of different reasons. But I'm going to go with Makeshift Robotics 4039.
Yeah.
Another Canadian team that I think could be the nicest team in FRC. They would literally give you the robot, if you asked for it. The thing they do with their color changing shirts is awesome, but as nice as they are, man, for that 2 minutes and 30 seconds, they want to kick everyone's butt just as bad as anyone. And I respect that.
Yeah, they one Buckeye. They took it to 3 matches at Waterloo against 2056 and 1114. So
they were ranked 50th, by the way.
Nice.
Two spots ahead of 17-17.
So in 2015 we were able to win Finger Lakes with them in 2015, and we won Ruckus with them this past year. So I have a lot of love for 4039.
Yeah, totally.
3015 was on the list, Justin.
It was?
Yeah, 145th.
Hey, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
How many different? Do you know how?
Because I voted. No, I'm just kidding.
How many different teams? Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you. It was several hundred. Holy crap. over 500.
That's great.
578.
Wow.
Different teams were. And I think most of those are legit. So
that's cool.
Yeah, the compiler will sort out teams that are duplicates, that sort of thing. But and what we'll do. Somebody asked me earlier. We'll post the top 50 on Chief Delphi. So and on our website and that sort of thing too. On there, but we'll take post show. I know you guys might want to know about a couple. We can field a couple of questions for that as well. So, so before we wrap up, do you guys want to make any kind of just final predictions for 2017? Just either about FRC in general or about the game or anything like that you want to talk about, Justin?
I'm gonna go back to what I said about 2056. My prediction is 2056 wins the world championship. I'll make that prediction every year till it happens. But personally, I am very, very excited about 2017. I think the theme Stronghold was okay, but the Steamworks, super mechanical, old timey aspect of it, I'm very excited about that. I think it's gonna be a great game, and I absolutely can't wait till kickoff.
So, I think I don't know. I think it'll be an okay game. But I'm a little concerned that the theming is going to go a little too far. We talked about this last show, that I feel like the theming was like just right last year. Wasn't too crazy, wasn't too over the top. But I think FRC was kind of doing that maybe on purpose to see how well it went, and now is going to try to add more. And I'm afraid it's going to go a little too far the other direction. So I feel good game, bad theming, and I think it'll just maybe turn people off the other way. So we'll see though.
See, I'm going to take kind of the opposite approach. I think last year's game went a little bit too far with the theming, to be honest with you. And I'm kind of, I could see them maybe like capitalizing on the areas that went well and kind of iterating off of that and seeing which things end up going well for them, and then saying, okay, these didn't work as well. Like, they took away a couple things with they're keeping the standards, but they took away a couple of things on it, like the streamers and that sort of thing. So, we'll see how FRC adapts for the theming. And we can have a full show on theming, and we've done it many times already.
Indeed.
So I'm going to say for me, I'll give an actual game prediction. And I think what totally throws a loop in is those potentially 5 drive team members. And I know, Justin, you're excited for it. I have to admit, I'm not as excited for it, just because I could see that becoming a little bit too congested. I don't know what the game is. And, who knows, maybe we build robots that are 20 by 20 inches or something like that. But for me, I really want to see, I'd be delighted to see a game where we see some sort of high flying object. And I think that there's a lot of potential. We're seeing the trailer with the blimp and steam and all that aspects that, reveals or revolves around a flying aspect for things. I don't think we're going to see drones or anything like that. But, if we could see a something that gets activated that sends something up in the air, or we have to shoot some sort of projectiles in the air. You know what? I just thought about what I would absolutely love. I forget what the game is called. It might be like Winds of Icarus, something like that, but something that could be like we have to shoot like things that are up in the air. So like have like cannons that like shoot like drone pirate ships up in the air or something like that. I'm gonna get
because
left field there, but
because this theme you're right, Tyler, because the theme won't go overboard.
Yeah. All right, you called me out on that.
Okay, but I just listened to that 3, 2, 1 liftoff. Do you think that's going to be an actual game sound? 3, 2, 1, 0. We have liftoff. Like, is that going to be the end game? Yeah, that's my guess. Yeah,
or it could be when something's activated too.
Yeah, like at the end, you know.
Like I posted on Chief Delphi though, like Steamworks, steampunk seems very like 1800s to me. I don't see how 1800s and rockets. I don't know how you make that connection. That's what I can't get.
Man. That's just a steampunk.
I don't know what steampunk is. Let's go back to that.
Well, you can go back and watch our spotlight show about it and learn a bit more on how you can steampunk your FRC team.
Shutdown sequence. That was my favorite one.
Actually, that would be awesome, right? Is that in there?
No. Here's what I'm hoping for. I just want the game sounds. I don't want any sort of horns or buzzers. I want a good steam whistle. Like that game starting, ending, just a good steam whistle really would make my year.
Don't we already have that? Like, didn't that exist in previous years during the final 20 seconds or whatever?
Usually it did signify the start of the end game. So, but we've kind of gone away from it a little bit. So I need to bring that back.
Alrighty. Anything else to talk about for 2017? Or I think we've talked your ear off about it in previous shows already, right?
Is this our last show before kickoff?
Yeah. This is the last show before 2017 for sure, and we'll have a couple special features coming up right around kickoff.
All right. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we do have a lot going on. So, all right, guys, let me mention, we'll take some questions in the post show. So if you're watching live, you can catch that. If you're not watching live, feel free to, if you can, watch us live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern usually, but you can always check out what our show schedule is on our Twitch page. But don't forget, you can follow Recap and the other FRC Top 25 shows under First Updates Now. We do this for you, and right now the best way for you to help us out, and we'd really appreciate it if you can just tell a friend and come on and check us out and post a tweet. Just share something and say, hey, I watched at First Updates Now last night, and I liked it. You should watch it too. That would mean the world to us, just if you could tell somebody else about this. We do this for you guys, and we hope you enjoy it. And we want hopefully you can tell your friends so they can enjoy it too. Don't forget to subscribe to us on our YouTube and Twitch pages. You can follow us on Twitch, hopefully subscribing soon, for the latest of First Robotics, and visit us at firstupdatesnow.com. Do want to give a big thank you, especially in 2016, to Nik Olsen, our producer, has done a phenomenal job behind the scenes, each and every single show, just making it happen. And he's been a huge asset coming on board. He doesn't, get to be in the limelight as much as the three of us do for something like this, but he's the guy who makes it happen in the background. So thank you, Nik, for a phenomenal job.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if you want to leave us feedback, you can email us at feedback@firstupdatesnow.com. We'll be back in 2017, have some pretty sweet announcements coming up, so stay tuned to that. For the entire competition season, we have a few things that are coming out incrementally as we get into competition season as well. And you can check our website and social media for other fun shows. So on behalf of myself, Mike, Justin, Nik, I want to thank you for tuning in. And thank you once again to all of our moderators in chat helping us out and making it happen. We'll see you next time on First Updates Now. Talk to you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
See you guys.
This has been a First Updates Now production. Visit us at firstupdatesnow.com or find us under First Updates Now on Facebook or Twitter.